Angela Merkel met yesterday with members of her Christian Democratic Union party to plan the response to an ultimatum being set by her interior minister and coalition partner to order migrants turned away from Germany's border in direct contradiction of the Chancellor. Meanwhile, Merkel will hold talks with Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte today. Migration, no doubt, on the agenda there. For more, we're joined now by Bloomberg's Birgit Jennen, who's with us from Berlin. Birgit, good to have you with us. So how serious is this crisis for Angela Merkel? I was reading some analysis which suggested this was the biggest crisis, Holger Schmieding saying the worst crisis of her almost 13 years in office.
Yes, it is serious because for both parties, for the CDU, Merkel's CDU and her sister party, the Christian Social Union, it's a core issue. Merkel wants to find a European solution. She wants to talk to her political leaders in Europe to find a solution. And the CSU in Bavaria wants to have a national solution. They want to take control over the national borders. So yes, Merkel is under massive pressure and threat. But both sides have a lot to lose at this point. And Seehofer in Bavaria, if he's pushing this too far, I mean, the Bavarian election, the regional election, they will probably even lose more. So Seehofer has already kind of stepped back and said, this crisis is serious, it is a serious issue, but it is manageable.
It is manageable. So is there a chance then of a compromise with the CSU? As you point out, they're under pressure electorally against the AfD in the region where they dominate. So what chances of a compromise?
Well, at the moment, it looks like they're moving towards giving Merkel somewhat a chance to talk to European partners, as she's going to do today. And then, at the same time, they will decide today, the Bavarian sister party will decide today to basically set the motion going. They will decide now that in 2 weeks' time, this is the deadline, the national regime will take place, that they will start sending back asylum seekers to the countries where they're coming from.
So Angela Merkel's been clear that she wants to find a European solution to this. She doesn't want this to create tensions within the European Union, does she? So she wants to talk to other countries. She's going to be talking to Conte of Italy. Clearly, Italy wants to see change on migration. I guess the question is whether they want to see the same kind of change, Birgit.
Well, exactly, they want exactly the opposite change. Merkel is now under pressure to basically demand from Conte that they are taking back some of the burden, that Germany will not take on that many asylum seekers as they have been doing in the past. And Conte wants exactly the opposite. He says this is a European issue and we have to have a radical change in the asylum system. So, yes, they are at loggerheads, but on the other hand, Merkel does want to find some form of compromise, and in order to go back to Germany and say, look, we have reached something, and then we can move on.